the first Thursday of the month, which means we're in the kitchen with Across the Fence. And our theme for today is one of your favorites, recipes made with Vermont apples. Good afternoon and thanks for joining us. I'm Judy Simpson. Before we meet our chefs, we want to thank all of you viewers and wish happy birthday to Edith Hastings of Woodsville, New Hampshire, who is celebrating her 90th birthday and watches Across the Fence every day. She says she especially enjoys Lynn Jarvis's travel programs. And she'll be happy to know that Lynn did very well at the Champlain Valley Fair this year, winning 3 blue and 3 red ribbons. He'll be making one of his prize-winning recipes for us a little bit later. We also want to congratulate Brennan Kaddish from North Hero and Jake Potter of Heinsberg. They are winners of the King Arthur Flower Youth Brownie Contest. Brennan's caramel chocolate chip brownie and Jake's peanut butter brownie recipes will be in our handout that I'll let you know how you can order at the end of the program today. Now, the winners of our free drawing for this month are Gail Bodette from Champlain, New York, who won the Tips for Using Your Slow Cooker book, and Betty Lockerbie from Isle Lamott, who won Cooking for Friends. Our congratulations to both Gail and Betty. Now, next month, one of you lucky viewers will win this 192-page cookbook, Fix It Quick Slow Cooker Recipes. It has more than 500 great recipes that you'll enjoy as we get closer to winter. I'll let you know how you can enter the free drawing at the end of our show today. Now, it's my pleasure to introduce our chefs who've prepared some of their favorite apple recipes for you. I'm with Carolyn Peak from Williamstown, along with Deb Plumley and Lynn Jarvis, of course, from South Hero. We have a lot of recipes to get to, so Deb, the kitchen is yours.
Oh, excellent. Well, apples are at their prime now, so get out and visit an orchard and sample some of the taste of fall. There's many different varieties to choose from, and give a new one a try. So my first recipe pairs the flavors of summer and fall with this apple cherry pie. Thicken cherry juice with sugar and cornstarch. Add whole cherries and pared sliced apples. Toss with additional sugar and nutmeg and place in a pie crust. Top with a streusel topping and bake for approximately 35 to 40 minutes until the apples are cooked. The red cherries mixed with the apples make this pie both colorful and flavorful. I'll just tilt it a little here so the viewers can see it, especially on this pretty apple plate. Now I have a wonderful viewer recipe next that comes from Fran Bean of Milton. And this is for a spicy apple gingerbread. You start by caramelizing apples, brown sugar, and butter in the bottom of your 9-inch pan. The assembly of the cake batter is similar to a pudding cake. You have liquid ingredients that include molasses, butter, sugar, and water that you add to your flour, ginger, cinnamon, cloves, and nutmeg. You can imagine how nice your kitchen is going to smell when you bake this spicy dish. You pour the cake batter on top of the apples and bake it. So you get the wonderful apples that are on the bottom of the cake, and then you have the rich, spicy cake top. Now this is a perfect complement of flavors. Enjoy as is or top with whipped cream, or if you would like, maybe even a little sprinkle of some powdered sugar. Doesn't this look super? So I want to thank you, Fran, for sharing this recipe with us today for this spicy apple gingerbread. Now next up, let's see if I can move this here, is for orange glazed baked apples, and this is shared to us from Helen Billings of Hardwick, Vermont. Using just 6 ingredients, this special dessert goes together quickly and makes a lovely presentation. Peel and core your apples. Stuff each cored apple with snipped pitted dates. Mix together orange juice, corn syrup, lemon juice, and a package of instant vanilla pudding. Pour over the apples and bake until the apples are tender, basting occasionally with the liquid. I usually serve the baked apples warm and in individual cups. The orange juice gives a tangy flavor with the sweet apple, and the dates add richness. Use a firm apple for this recipe. Cortlands, for example, hold their shape very well. I want to thank Helen for sending in this recipe for our viewers today. Now my last recipe to share is super easy. This is a maple cran apple sauce. You cook cranberries with chopped apples, some honey, and some maple syrup, just those 4 ingredients, in a saucepan until the apples soften and the cranberries start to pop. This is wonderful served on a plain cake, maybe ice cream. It would make a great complement for meat dishes as well. And Carolyn, I can see out of the corner of my eye, you've got some great looking apple dishes to share.
Yes, I do.
Wonderful. I'll let you start.
Okay. I'm going to start off, I okayed this with Lynn, but I would like to know what some of our viewers' favorite kitchen gadgets are. I forgot to bring mine today that is a new favorite, which cores and slices the apples all in one movement. But I just would like to know what others of our viewers think is special for them. So when you write in asking for the recipes, or when you go to enter one of the contests or something, just put a little note in it for me so that I know what you're really liking. Now I'm going to start off today with a cranapple turkey skillet, and this is very simple. It just takes some apples and apple cider, some chicken broth, cut up turkey, cranberries, and some stuffing mix, and you just mix it all together and bake it, and you've got this really nice turkey cranberry apple meal. And I think it'll be really good for especially after Thanksgiving or something like that, when you have a lot of leftover turkey. But just a very nice recipe for that. Now, to go with it, I have a scalloped apple casserole. I have used this as a dessert, but it's actually just to be served as a side dish. And it's basically just your apples cut up, some sugar and cinnamon and butter, and then you put some crumbs on top, and you've got just a nice appley side dish for your meal. Now, I have some apple cider cinnamon rolls. They are fantastic, and I really hope that you'll get the recipes, even if it's just for these. It makes a 9x13 pan, and as you can tell, they are very large rolls. A half of one works great for your meal, but they are it's just a basic roll batter with, then you have, it has cider in it, and the chopped apples, brown sugar, some walnuts, and you can see on the inside of this one, I cut one in half so that you can see all the goodies inside. And then it has a cream cheese and cider frosting on it. Really, really good. Now I have a couple of desserts here. The first one is my viewer recipe. This is from Carolyn Bourgeois of Vergennes. And this is just a really nice, it's a peanut butter cookie with chopped apples in it. So it's a really tasty thing, and it's very quick to make. It makes about 2.5 to 3 dozen cookies, depending on the size that you make them. Very simple, very good. Now this other one, I can't wait to try. It's an apple caramel cheesecake bar. And that you have a base that you put in, you press into the pan and bake that. Then you put on a mixture of apples and cream cheese and things like that that you put on, and then you make a streusel topping with flour, brown sugar, oats, and then you pour caramel sauce on top. I am very anxious to try this. So this is my apple recipes. Lynn?
Good job.
Yes.
They look super.
They do.
Thank you very much, Carolyn.
You're welcome.
And this is a wonderful time of year to cook with apples because you can pick them right off the tree. And I got mine up at Hackett Orchard in South Hero, and apples are so versatile. Appetizers, main dishes, desserts. It's a wonderful product to use, our own Vermont apples. And last month, some of you may remember that I made a cherry cobbler, and Judy suggested that I bring it to the Champlain Valley Fair. Well, I took her advice, and you see it on the left with a red ribbon, and on the right, my maple, apple, blueberry crisp that got a blue ribbon. And these 3 flavors blend deliciously together. And when topped with a mix of brown sugar, oatmeal, and melted butter, you have this delicious crisp that you see right here. And I'll just take a little spoonful out so you can see what a nice looking dessert this is. And I have a little whipped cream here, and just a little whipped cream on top really makes a nice treat, and I hope you'll try this blue ribbon dessert. Now, my next recipe is also a prize winner. It was the grand prize winner at the Caledonia Record Annual Recipe Contest. And let me move it up so you can see it. It's these apple smothered pork chops. And the chef is one of our loyal viewers down in Fairleigh, Vermont, Edie Ackerman, and congratulations to you, Edie. Now, it's easy to make. You just cover the chops. Let me try to lift up here with a mixture of apples, molasses, golden raisins, and your different seasonings. And I hope you'll give this blue or grand prize winner a try. And Deb left some of her cranberry relish here, so let's put a little relish on one of these chops. Now, I think that is a main dish served that looks just perfect for this fall season. We want to congratulate Edie again and thank her for sending in that recipe. Now, the next one is one of my favorites. It can be used as a side dish or a main dish. And here it is. It's these apples that are mixed with cubed ham, diced celery, mayonnaise, and light cream. And just before serving, you want to put some apples around it like you see here and garnish it with some shredded cheddar. So let's put that on right now. And you can see what a nice looking dish this will make. And as I said, this could be used as a main dish, but I also like it served with a macaroni and cheese. It has a kind of a nice complement. Now, my next recipe comes from another viewer. It's Edna Wells down in Lancaster, New Hampshire, and it's her apple maple crunch. And let me show it to you here. First, you start with a crust that's made with butter, and that's sugar in it, flour, and oatmeal. Then you cover with your sliced apples, and then you make a sauce with sugar, water, and cornstarch and vanilla. Pour over the whole thing and bake for about 35 minutes. And I'll take some out so you can see what this looks like. Very nice, and Edna says it's a little bit different than the typical crisp recipe, and that she enjoys serving it at special occasions with her family and friends. And she says she also likes to bake, and she enters a lot of her recipes at the Lancaster Fair. And I'm sure she's won prizes down there, and thanks for that, Edna. Now, this next one is a dessert that has just 4 ingredients. It's also another viewer recipe sent in by Nancy DeFrancisco of St. Albans, and it's called Apple Brittle Dessert. First, you peel, core, and slice 4 large apples. Then you pour over some maple syrup that's mixed with a little allspice and topped with almond brittle or peanut brittle. Very easy to make, and of course, to really top it off, a dollop of whipped cream makes it the perfect dessert, easy to make with just 4 ingredients. And lastly, something new that people are talking about, they're slab pies, and take a look at this. It's easy to make because you use the prepared pie crust, the frozen puff pastry, and it's filled, this one particularly is filled with apples, cranberries, and spices. And then you have the confectionery sugar glaze, wonderful for potlucks and bake sales because you can serve by the big slice or by the individual slice. And we made a huge batch, Judy, because we have a lot of hungry people here at Channel 3.
Yes, we do.
And they're coming for lunch in just a minute.
Well, congratulations on your fair winnings. Thank you for taking my advice after raising 2 children. It's refreshing that someone takes my advice for a change. Well, I can't wait to try that pie. It looks delicious. Now, as always, we've got a couple of different ways for you to get today's collection of apple recipes. You can go online to the Across the Fence website, go to uvm.edu/extension, and click on the link to Across the Fence. You'll find the recipes on the left-hand side of the web page. To get the recipes by mail, send $2 in a stamped, self-addressed business-size envelope to Apple Recipes, Box 188, South Hero, Vermont 05486. Now, please remember, if you're ordering the recipe recipes to include $2 and a stamped self-addressed envelope. Your envelope will be used in the drawing for the winner of the Slow Cooker Cookbook. If you're not ordering today, you can still use that address on your screen to be a part of our free drawing. Just send along your name and address to Apple Recipes, Box 188 in South Hero. Good luck to all of you. And thanks to our chefs, Carolyn, Lynn, and Deb, for preparing today's delicious apple recipes. They'll be back November 3rd with their favorite slow cooker recipes. And Carolyn, I know you're looking forward to that. Yes. Yeah, from all of us here, I'm Judy Simpson. Have a great Columbus Day weekend, and we'll see you again back here next time on Across the Fence.